Hey everybody, and welcome back to Redfish. Today we are decorating Hornsby's house. I already have this little area kind of set up with some trees behind the museum, and I've got a bunch of stuff that I think would look kind of cool. So yeah, let's get started. I'm starting by throwing down some fencing just to kind of section off his little yard area, and throwing down a few pieces of furniture just to kind of get an idea of where I want things to go. Now, Hornsby is my one and only lazy villager at the moment, and I feel like he would do really well with lots of different types of bugs and kind of more, naturey things near his house. So I used some bamboo items and lots of different types of caged bugs. Here I am, laying down the path for his little garden, and I've found that I will probably give everyone on Redfish a little bit of their own garden. But here I'm grabbing a couple different flowers and ignoring Fauna because I don't want her to move out, and planting them, and then I ended up planting some bamboo and realizing that I didn't have an axe to go chop it down like I wanted, so I got an axe, and that was that. I really love how the different types of bugs come in different colored cages, and I really wanted to utilize that when decorating Hornsby's yard. That's why I use a bunch of different types of bugs, because all the different cages that they come in are different colors, and I think that they're so darling and so cute. The Zen cushions down and that biotop planter down, and upon rewatching this I'm wondering if I should switch them back to have the Zen cushions be in front and the biotop planter being in the back. Maybe I'll toy with that a bit, but you guys let me know what you think, if you like them better tucked away kind of back there, or if I should have them more front and center like how I kind of originally thought that I was going to have them. Here I go, grabbing some more flowers. I felt like the yellows, whites, and a couple purples looked really good near Hornsby's house. Obviously I used those blue pansies up there too. It's funny that I realized that a lot of people in the Animal Crossing community don't really like the pansies, but they're some of my favorite flowers, so I try to use them where I can. the ants came out to play, and I wish that they could be there permanently from that spoiled turnip. I love the look of the ants like that. I think they're so cool. So I'm starting to lay down a bit of this pathing to try to connect the pathing from the walkway up above down to his house. But as you'll see, I felt like it got a little bit too busy. I'm quite a fan of the ground looking very full, but I realized that it seemed a little too full for my taste. So I ended up doing it all up and then taking it apart and changing it, but I was pretty happy with it in the end. Here I am, grabbing a few more flowers. Like I said, I use these white mums everywhere, all the time. They're also some of my favorite flowers, and they happen to be my native flower, so I like to use them all over the place. And if you caught it, I just checked my camera to kind of get more of a fuller view of the area, and that's when I realized, yeah, I am not feeling too good about this pathing here. But you guys let me know, do you like it more full, or if you like it more of the way where I kind of end up spacing it out? I love the green leaf piles, and I really love these little bugs that you get from Flick from the Bug Off that you can put on the ground. I'm a really big fan of any item that sticks on the ground, but also that you can walk through. I think that's awesome. And here I am, pushing poor Hornsby out of the way, even though he's really enjoying the new stuff that I put out for him, just because I felt like I had to redo that pathing. And if you know me, you know I'm a really big fan of the in-game weeds. Also, the in-game little clover. Like I said, I like having the ground be full, but I felt like in this area, since I am using so many different items, it would be a little bit too busy to have the pathing be crisscrossed all over the place, but I also didn't want it kind of in a straight line leading down across his house, in front of his house, so this is what I came up with, and I'm feeling pretty good about it so far. From there, I went into my house one last time to get a few more items, and I was getting pretty stoked on it, scattering a few more things around, just kind of adding the finishing touches before I finish up and I'm all done. Alrighty, I think that I'm pretty much done for now. Apologies in advance if you hear my cat meowing. She really wants my attention right now, and she's interrupted me about 3 times trying to do this final walkthrough, so sorry if you hear her screaming at me in the background. But yes, down here we've got Hornsby's house. Behind his house is super simple. It's just got this little mom cushion in the denim variant, and I do see my villagers hanging out down here all the time. They really like this spot near the river, so now they've actually got a place to sit, and hopefully they use it. Here we've got the Termite Mound, which is another one of my favorite items that I absolutely love. I've ended up using a lot of things that I really like near Hornsby's house, like some of these bugs that we've got scattered on the ground. I think I put 4 of them around. And here next to this little bee, I threw this book very last minute just because, you know, he was sitting here or standing here studying this bee, and I figured maybe he can put down his book and go do a chore and then come back to it later. Here we got a bamboo shoot on top of this barrel, and this little clacker cart here, which is another one of my favorite items, and I just knew that I had to use it because when I very first got Hornsby, his house was down near the beach, and this was pretty much the only item that I had in front of it for a really long time. For some reason, it just screams Hornsby to me. Here we've got a tiger beetle and this little lantern on top of this leaf stool. Love it. And down here, I'm super glad that I realized that I had this yellow hand cart because it just goes so well with everything. I think that the yellow and the blue look really nice together, so that's there. And I've got this little bagworm model here too. I just kind of made that on a whim, and I think it looks awesome, so I'm glad that I did that. Down here, I've got these little watermelon balls, which I'm sure you've seen done before, and this is kind of my take on it. I've never used them in this way before, and I'm liking it. And we've got our chopped bamboo, of course, and our little rotten spoiled turnip. I was hoping that the ants would be out and about, but that's okay. They'll come back eventually. Here I've got another butterfly with a fossil on top, and down here I just kind of threw these flowers scattered around. The reason being is because Bree's house is right down there, and I didn't like the cliff being so flat behind her house, so I pulled it out a bit to give it a little bit of dimension, and I actually really like it because it breaks apart this fencing a bit, and I think it looks a lot nicer that way. Here we've got our basket with our bamboo, and little mama panda over there, and he can sit here and hang out with his tarantula and eat his grapes and stuff, and we've got a dinosaur track on top of it. But this tarantula needs a name, so if any of you folks have an idea for this tarantula and what it should be named, drop a line in the comments. And over here, of course, we've got this little ant in a cup. I love how these ants are caged, and I think they do it with the flies and the mosquitoes too. I think it's so clever. And I've got this little can thing here. I really like this item as well. It's really simple, but it comes in all sorts of cool color variants. Over here, we have this Cypress Bathtub, which I have also never decorated with before, and I'm really happy with it. I feel like it kind of looks like it's getting its water source from the river running behind it, and I just think it goes so well with Hornsby and his vibe. And we've got the Zen cushions, of course, with some fragrance sticks, and this little stool here with one of Mabel's designs, the little dragonflies. And behind, just got a good old paper kite butterfly. I still need to decorate the path here that goes behind the museum, but for now I think this is a good place to stop. And, you know, we can just run through this leaf pile. I should make some more of these. But yeah, that's what I've got so far, and thank you all so very much for joining me, and I hope that wherever you are in the world, you are having such a lovely day or night, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!